Alright, in this video, I'll be watching the new Baylor roster of Andy, Hockser, and JT in what I assume is a best-of-5 scrim against St. Clair College, as this lined up timing-wise around when St. Clair, or right before St. Clair were playing their NACE match against Cumberland, which did result in a loss, so warm them up better next time. Baylor, apparently. But I really want to watch and see what Baylor looks like with Andy and Hockser. And also, whenever I name drop RLCS pros in my titles, those videos do really well. So I'm gonna do that, as well as the content that I've also been putting out, like about the best B team in CRL is #1 team goes down, that sort of thing. And also, I really want to see what this Baylor team looks like with JT in the mix, because I've had people talk to me about what this team is like and how they function, with it kind of being a Hockser Andy 2v3 show, and I want to see if that is the truth. But this same night, I do believe, Baylor went to Game 5 against Maryville, which is a pretty good result for them, honestly. Even though Maryville just had EXO come back from the RLCS World Championship. So probably a little fatigued. They probably have not been practicing as a unit, one would assume, in preparation. And also I've heard that some of those top teams don't care about NACE because NACE dropped the prize pool from their competition. So, yeah, all factors to consider. But Game 5 against Maryville, no matter what, is still a decent result for Baylor. Just couldn't close it out. And so far, you know, it does kind of look like the Andy and Hockser 2v3 show. Good start for St. Clair, and if you were paying attention to that bottom bar, you already know the results. I still haven't decided how I want to handle spoilers and all that. 'Cause I think it makes the videos a bit more engaging and exciting if you don't know the result of games, but at the same time, I'm watching demos, so you're probably gonna know the result of the game in most cases. But, ooh, okay, good try, JT. I mean, he's not useless. He's not like an anchor bringing the team down. I think he'll have to slot into maybe a more productive role, which, I mean, that's not a bad demo. Need to win the 50 though, and I mean, against full unit teams like St. Clair, I can see how Baylor might struggle a little bit. It's 3-0 right now. I don't remember the final score of this. I didn't look at the bottom bar when I loaded it in. I just wanted to see JT's perspective. And I mean, he's not super productive. Has found some good bumps, and I mean that's a good role for him to fill, being productive in the physical game. I'm trying to create space that way, because when he's on the ball, I mean, he doesn't quite have that same amount of control and space creating ability as Hockser and Andy do, obviously, because JT, I should forget where his MMR is. I've heard that he's a 1900, and I mean, imagine that. Like, imagine you're a student at Baylor, you're just going there to get a degree. Shocking, not to play Rocket League. And then all of a sudden, your senior year, you're playing with 2 RLCS pro players that are making stuff like that happen. I mean, that was a crazy double save by Hockser. Like, that's CRL, man. It comes at you fast. And I know this is just a temporary roster, but it is still an interesting story. Baylor bringing in 2 top-tier RLCS pros and trying to make it work with JT in the mix. So, it's cool. It's a cool story. Especially if they do it making league play. That would be a big result for them. Hockser is mental on the back line at the moment. Calling Andy off right there. Still, majority possession for St. Clair. JT staying pretty grounded. And this is a best of 5. Well, I say best of 5. This was 5 games played between these two. If it was a best of 5, it would have only been 4 games played, because St. Clair won 3 of the first 4. And then they played a 5th just to finish things out, and Baylor ended up winning that one. But in the 5 games overall, JT averaged 0.4 goals per game, which is just 2 goals scored overall, and Andy is at an average of 1 goal per game. So pretty good for Andy. And it does seem like the role for JT is just to be annoying when he gets space to play for bumps and demos. Outside of that, he's playing pretty passive. And I'm sure as he plays against this like top tier CRL and honestly RLCS competition as well, I think he'll learn how to take advantage of his windows to challenge a bit better, kind of where to position himself with regard to the speed of the lobby. But 3-0 here. I think we can assume that this is where the final score will be, unless one more. I've got a lot of jazzy replays. Okay, I guess Baylor did get one at the end. Sorry for spoilers, but it's the way the news goes. 2 early goals in this one. One each way. Kickoff goal for Andy here. 1v1 with Arju. Yeah, pretty clean. Pretty clean. I don't think the skills of Andy and Hockser are really going to be called into question when talking about Baylor this season, because they look really good so far, and they seem pretty locked in as well. JT trying to fake guard you out. Oh. Again, adjusting to the pace of the lobby and the ability of these sorts of players on the ball. He didn't seize... Like, this is what I'm talking about when looking at plays like this and analyzing JT. Like, Arju here is separated from the ball. JT should probably go in. But he's playing timid, I think, because he's afraid of Arju dunking him, and because he's the last man, that's just a bad play. I mean, if you get dunked and Arju scores there, then it's embarrassing. But instead, he plays too passive and doesn't end up challenging there, instead of realizing the window that he's got in a 1v1. He's respecting Arju, which is fair enough, but he's respecting him too much to where it's detrimental. So, those are the moments that once JT gets more comfortable playing at this level, then he'll be able to stop that, no problem. And probably put together a decent counterattack, because Arju will be low boost in the blue half, rotating back, and he'll have Andy and Hockser, JT will, upfield to attack with. Like, that's a pretty big moment when it comes to overall game control. But instead, it results in a goal for St. Clair. But they are still playing more defense in this game than we saw them in the previous. And I think I chose games 2 through 4. It's either 1 through 3 or 2 through 4. I forget which ones. But middle of the scrim, essentially. Because I don't like showing the last games of scrims in most cases, unless there's a really good reason for it. Just because I think I'm scarred from coaching. My teams never took those last couple games seriously, as much as I would tell them to. Right, we're watching Arju right now. I don't remember why we're on Arju's player view. Let's watch some Andy and Hockser. That's kind of who I'm going to use to clickbait this video, so let's watch Hockser. Defensive demon the last game. Chance here. Well, Baylor passing a little bit. And, okay. Stepping on each other's toes, just a touch there. In-sync wave dash, though. And to keep momentum. The 2v1 going backboard. Great read. He's automatic with that sort of thing. Still, St. Clair are getting a lot more space to operate their offense than Baylor is. Just to be expected. He's upset with that one. Oh, this is the bump on Sai as well. Didn't get jazzy either. No, poor Hockser. Oh, and then gets taken out of field. Yeah, fair enough. Good moment now. A little bit of room here. Oh, but St. Clair break it down with a cool passing play. Keen passing play. I suppose it was cool as well. All 3 members involved. Much closer game. Baylor's doing a much better job of at least just like not playing defense. Although they cannot connect passes for the life of them. Keep going for it, but the connection is not quite there. Again, JT just a little bit late on the challenge, so has to make a play on the goal line, and that leaves Hockser in a weird one-on-one spot. Kind of two-on-one spot. But St. Clair bail him out, kind of 2v1 the other way. Nice. More of a 2v2. I didn't realize he was going to have, I think that was Andy that scored that on in support. Yeah, Andy's got both goals this game. JT, oh, that's stat line. Assist on the goal earlier, and I guess it was a kickoff goal assist, but still, you can't harp on JT too much. I think it's one of those conversations where I think a lot of casters, especially, are going to be polite about it and be like, well, you know, JT is trying his best out there, but he is going to be the weak link. I think we can't be afraid to call him the weak link of this team. But I don't think... I think there are a couple of win conditions for Baylor. With JT still finding his footing in the mix. I think one of the win conditions is just going to be straight up Andy and Hockser. I keep doing that. Andy and Hockser 2v3ing and putting together plays between themselves with the occasional solo play pop-off. And also, JT playing confidently in defense. Because that is how Baylor can make space for them to work with in offense. With JT challenging effectively. Not playing passive like he is, because that just brings the play to the Baylor goal line, and good teams will take that space and move in on it. And will keep you hemmed in as well. And if he challenges confidently, then that creates opportunities upfield. They will have to hit their passing plays, they will have to convert on their ideas, but hey, they win this game with solid defense, a bit of possession control, and you know, kickoff goal to help. But did have one good play. And this is the final game. Let's see. I'll watch Andy this time around. Just keep it Baylor-centric. We've watched enough St. Clair this week already. Watched their Winthrop match and their Cumberland match. Which, that was a whole conversation that I wasn't expecting. Like, I think in my tweet, my power rankings tweet, where I brought St. Clair down to number 4 in my power rankings because they lost to Cumberland, and I didn't want to put them still above Cumberland after a head-to-head loss, just because it's early in the season. We don't have many head-to-head results. But I had BK, the Ball State director, is under the impression, and I imagine he's not alone in this sense, that St. Clair is still the number 1 team, which I don't necessarily disagree with. I think they probably are still going to be number 1 when things shake out, but you can't discount wins and losses in CRL this season. I think NACE, NECC, CRL, obviously, and major land tournaments should still be taken into account when doing rankings. Although, with that discussion starting up, I think I've learned that a lot of people don't actually respect NACE results quite as much as at least spring NACE results might be respected. Just because there's no prize pool anymore. Apparently, fall results don't really have any bearing on LAN qualification. And so, players aren't motivated for NACE right now. Which sucks, because that honestly should be one of the premier leagues for looking at results. But motivating top teams is a trick in and of itself. Not easy to do. And he isn't really doing anything too special right now. He's playing solid Rocket League. Real positionally sound. Looking for any kind of demo attempts there. Knew Arju was in the area. Still get shut down. That's a chance to flip possession. Covers from being faked. Just watching the play develop. See what JT does here. And this is the kind of spot where I'm watching Andy's car language, because he jumps in immediately to help him. Not sitting back. I guess there was kind of no bailing out of that spot anyway. JT didn't have boost, so Andy had to help him out. But he's playing around his teammates pretty well. Great challenge. That's JT as well. But Hockser takes it from him. And I'm wondering if that's more just he had the better line on it, or if Andy and Hockser really just don't want to let JT take the ball if one of them has the option. Because I figure that's something that they have to have talked about. And I think it's dumb not to have that conversation. Still a close game, though. And after the 4-2 win or 4-1 win that St. Clair had, these aren't bad games to follow. St. Clair's offense isn't quite having the same way with the Baylor defense as they were previously. So, I mean, right now, Baylor looks like a pretty solid top 20 team. I think JT definitely is the weak link, and I think touches like that are a good example of how that can affect Baylor, because now they're playing more defense. They almost concede a second goal, and with 90 seconds left, I mean, this is the sort of moment that teams can really close out a series. I think this would be a closeout game if it was a best of 5. This is game 4. I can just check that also. I don't know why I'm acting like I can't. This is game 3, technically. I might have watched them out of order. Whoops! It's my channel. I can do whatever I want. There we go, JT. That's nice. Because now it's a 2v1 the other way. And a goal for Baylor. Oh, okay. Probably should have been a goal for Baylor. And that was set up by JT. Playing his role. Ah. Well. Getting a little weird. Ah. Too much heat on that ball. Yeah, I mean, I like how Baylor are playing this. I think they are going to beat a good team here and there. And they're going to be a steady threat to league play. I don't know if they will get to league play, though. Because I think a lot of teams that are playing at the top of CRL are going to be able to game plan around Baylor and end up winning series against them as a result of that. But we'll see how JT develops. I think that's a really interesting story. See how JT develops. Because you've got 2 big brain stars of the RLCS to play around and learn from. So good luck, JT. Good luck, Baylor. Jazzy, thanks for uploading these to ball chasing. And thank you all for watching this video. As I assume it'll be a lot of you, considering I'm going to put Andy and Hockser in the title. So that's what I'm doing. Like and subscribe. And have a great day. This is pre-recorded, by the way. I recorded this on Friday. Going up on Saturday, though. I'm up in Syracuse at the moment. So, yeah. Have a good day. Yeah.